Hello. Today I'm taking my first trip in my EV to Lake City, Arkansas, which I'm thinking is about 22 miles, so about 44 miles round trip. This car will easily make it. But since I've never been there before, I thought I would document it. And I'm probably going to do that. Anytime in my car I'm taking a trip for the first time, then why not document it and put it on my YouTube channel. I know a lot of people won't be interested in every trip I take, but I might as well. You know, I enjoy doing it, and it'll be out there in case somebody wants to see it. Because like I've said before, when I was researching the Chevy Spark EV and EVs in general, especially when it came to the Spark, I looked for every video I could find, and I think I watched every one on YouTube if they were speaking English, because that's the only language I speak besides cussing and Klingon. So I actually speak 3 languages: English, cussing, and Klingon. But if it wasn't in one of those languages, then I skipped it. But anyway, so here we go to Lake City, Arkansas. Let's see what kind of range we got. We're fully charged, and it looks like we've got 71 miles, which it's a little bit lower than it has been. You know, it used to show 75, 76, 77 miles. I think sometimes the temperature outside determines that as well. One thing I'm going to do on this trip, since it's only 22 miles each way, 42 miles or so round trip, is I'm driving just like I would a gas vehicle. I'm going to go 3 to 5 miles over the speed limit. This car will go about 75 miles, as long as you keep it at 55 or 60 below. For sure 55 or below. I can go in non-winter about 55 miles with air conditioner where I'm comfortable. But it can easily go, you know, low 70s, high 60s, low 70s. So if I'm going somewhere 60, 65 miles away, just to be a little bit safer, I drive exactly the speed limit. But today I'm going to drive 3 to 5 miles over, like I do with a nice vehicle. I made it to my destination here in Lake City. And we're going to see what we got on the mileage here. I drove 21.5 miles, and I'm showing 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour. I'm going to shut the motor off and see exactly what it says. 21.56 miles, 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour. That's a lot less than I would have expected. Let me go to Google here and find out something. Okay, Google, what's the elevation of Paragould, Arkansas?
Paragould's elevation is 299 feet.
Okay, Google, what's the elevation of Lake City, Arkansas?
Lake City's elevation is 226 feet.
Okay, so I was going downhill, so that doesn't make any sense. And I was only going 60. The air conditioner was set on 76 and 77. I was expecting 5 to 5.5. So 4.5 isn't horrible, but it's not what I was expecting. Anyway, we made it here. Time to head home. You know, the thing about Sonic, I'm not going to sit here and talk about Sonic for 5 minutes, don't worry. I do want to mention one thing. I live in Arkansas, of course, and we have Sonics everywhere. We even have towns that have 1,500 people with a Sonic. And like everybody else, I just thought that was the case all over the nation. Until I started looking into them, I'm going to say about 3 years ago, when I was looking into Sonic as a potential investment opportunity. Not to franchise one, but just to buy some stock in the company. And I was shocked at how few there were. There's only, I think, 33 or 3,400 Sonics in the whole United States. We have more Sonic drive-ins within a 30 or 35 mile radius of my house than are in the whole state of New York. Now imagine the growth potential. If a town in Rector, Arkansas, which has about 1,600 or 1,700 people, I think Lake City has barely 2,000 people and they have a Sonic. Imagine how many you could put in New York. if you can get the kind of sales and that we get around here from a Sonic. But anyway, all I'm gonna say about it is, after that I asked a few people, probably 15, 20 people here and there, take a guess, how many Sonics are there in the entire world? The highest number I got was 100,000. The average, I'd say, is probably 40 to 45,000. People actually believe there's 40, 45, or 50,000 Sonics. There's only barely 3,000. It's kind of funny. And I never did buy stock in the company, but I should have, because a month or so ago it went up somewhere around 30% within a few hours or a few days. I'm not real sure. But anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. And I may not even put this in the final video. It's just something I find funny. Ask people at random, how many Sonics do you think there are? And if you live in the state that has a lot, like Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, yeah, you'll get guesses of tens or even hundreds of thousands. On my way back and doing 60 miles an hour, just like I would in a gas guzzling SUV, truck, compact car, anything that burns gas. This is what I would be driving. I've driven 24.3 miles and it says 38 miles left on the gasometer, which means I've burned 33, 48, 58, 68, yeah, 33 miles, because it started with 71. So even though I've only driven 24.5 miles, I've went through 33 miles of battery. So that's because I'm going 60 miles an hour. And the gasometer, of course, uses recent data to determine how far you can go. So if you drive 80 miles or 100 miles at 25 miles an hour, that gasometer may show 90 miles or 100 miles, but then you get on the highway and go 60, yeah, you're going to be in for a surprise. But this right here, see all this flat land? I know a lot of my videos, this is what you see. This is what most of northeast Arkansas looks like. You get into north central or northwest, it's a lot of mountains and stuff. But this is what our area of the country looks like. All this beautiful farmland. I love looking at farmland. I mean, being a farmer is such an honorable thing. I'm about to hit 7.7 kilowatt hours burned on this trip. Right now it's at 7.6. And I've used 54% of the battery. The reason 7.7 is significant because at 6.5 cents per kilowatt hour, the rates in Paragould, Arkansas, right there at 7.7, that's when you hit 50 cents of electricity. I drove 34.5 miles, almost all of it at 60 miles an hour. Well, I had to drive through town to get to the highway. Probably 3 miles at 40, 45, and the rest of it at 60. And I drove 34 miles for 50 cents. That's one reason I really like these electric vehicles. They're so cheap to operate. The first month I had this car, I drove 839 miles, and I spent about $12 in electricity. There's no way I can be exact with that number, but give or take a couple bucks. At the absolute most, I spent $15 to drive 839 miles. And that's one reason a lot of people buy these electric vehicles. But there's a lot of people that just have no desire for them and they don't care about the gas savings. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with driving what you want to drive, and to hell with the gas mileage, what does it matter? Me, I'd rather drive something that just drives me, you know, and drive for 1/10 the price of something where I'm driving thinking, oh my Lord, this is nice. And it costs 9 and 10 times more to drive it. But that's just me. That's just me. I can certainly understand those that don't want to. And I think this car drives fairly nice, especially for a compact. For a compact, I think it drives really nice. You know, overall, if you consider all cars, then the drive quality is good enough. It's good enough. You know, but I'm gonna wind up going to Lake City and back for probably, I don't know, about 60 cents. Now it's gonna wind up being about 44 miles. If I was in a car that did, you know, that'd be about 2 gallons in a car that goes 24 miles to the gallon, or real close to 2 gallons. And gas right now is about $2.60 a gallon. So it cost me about $5.20, $5.50 to make this trip in a 24 mile per gallon vehicle. And I'm gonna do it for about 60 cents. Yeah. So that's fantastic as far as I'm concerned. You know, but EV, you know, I do not use this channel to try to say, go get an EV, go get one, go get one. I don't try to tell people, yes, you need one. I just try to spread information and be honest about it. I'm honest in my assessment. And if I convince people they never want an EV, then I think that's great too. If somebody's on the fence, should I buy one or not, and they watch my video and think, oh my Lord, I don't want one of those things, that's fantastic too. Because my goal is to spread information and to tell people the truth about electric vehicles, especially in an area of the country where there is no infrastructure. I can't go to Memphis, which is about 90 miles to 100 miles away, just because there's not enough infrastructure. If I lived in Southern California and wanted to drive 100 miles, I bet I could do it with just a little bit of inconvenience. I can't do it without a whole lot of inconvenience. But anyway, that's my goal, to spread information about these cars. If I convince you to buy one, that's awesome. Matter of fact, there's one person, because of watching me, they decided they're going to buy an electric vehicle. And there's about 5 or 6 others who have decided that they might buy one. Their next vehicle just might be an EV. And there's a couple that they've done ranted so much against the evils of the electric vehicle, I don't think they'd buy one now, even if they actually did want it, because they'd have too much pride. They're always giving me hell about how horrible these things are. One person told me that I don't even consider those to be real cars. But you know, like I say, it doesn't matter. You know, everybody should drive what they like. If you want a gas guzzling Hemi that goes 12, 14 miles to the gallon, God bless you. If you want an electric vehicle, God bless you. Drive what you want. Drive what you love. Okay, I'm back home, and this doesn't make any sense. As far as terrain goes, Lake City is downhill by somewhere in the neighborhood of 70 feet. Means on the way back, I was slowly going uphill by about 70 feet. But yet, when I got to Lake City, I was trending way down here. Now that I'm home, I'm trending way up to the maximum. Now, before I got into town, I was about halfway up. And plus, I've increased my miles per kilowatt hour for the trip by more than half a mile. So let's see what we got on the way back. 5.7 miles per kilowatt hour. I think on the way there I had 4.3 or 4.4. Like I said, it doesn't make any sense, because according to the terrain, I was going downhill on the way there when you think it would have been better. But anyway, it is what it is. Right here, 51% for driving and accessories, 9% for climate control, 8.6 kilowatt hours. So that's not bad at all. But I do have to change this. One other thing I don't like about the Chevy Spark EV, you got to go in and change your you got to change your charging level from 8 amps to 12 amps every single time, and it charges a lot quicker if you did it on 12 amps rather than 8. A lot quicker. Anyway, that concludes our trip to Lake City. Hope you enjoyed it, or I hope you learned something. I hope it helped you decide whether to buy an electric vehicle or whether to never buy one. Like I said earlier, either one of those would be fine. I'm here to help you learn. That's all I'm here for. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching, and remember, chicks dig scars and electric cars. And that's another reason why you should buy one. Not just the gas savings, chicks dig electric cars. They really do.